Welcome back to the channel, everybody. If you work on an online business, then you know DAU, or Daily Active Users. It's a count of customers that interact with your online business on a daily basis. In my experience, I've noticed that while DAU is great, people love seeing DAU segmented or cohorted in different ways. So in today's MySQL walkthrough, we're going to enhance this analysis behind me to do a count of DAU by install month. Looking at DAU by install month is super interesting because indirectly it shows you what the life cycle of a business is. If we take the example behind me, you can see that over half of this demo business's DAU installed over the last 3 months, thus giving you a general idea of what the life cycle of this particular business is. So let's head over to MySQL and do this together. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is get installs. So we have an installs table, and from there we are going to select the very first install instance per customer. So here's some records from our install table. Now we are going to select the very first install instance per customer. We will do that using a min function. I will show you this worked. Great. Now let's save everything into a subselect and we can just call this installs. And now what we want to do is we want to look at our logins table. So these are customer logins. And I will show you this table. Let's call this table logins. And we want the logins customer ID, and then the logins.login date. Remember, if we just did a count of customer IDs and grouped by this login date, that would be DAU. But again, we need to bring across the install date and change it to an install month, so the first day of the month, and then group by install month and login date. That way we can get the second chart, or a count of DAU cohorted by install month. Okay. So let's bring across customer install dates using a left join. And we're going to join on customer ID. And then we are going to bring across the install date from our second table. So from this installs subselect. And we're doing it based on customer ID as a join key between table 1 and table 2. Now let's look at a few records to make sure this worked. Okay, great. Now what we need to do is take this install date and we need to revert it to the first day of the month. So you may have an install date that's today's date, September 24th, 2024. We want to take that value and we want to change it to September 1st, 2024 and group by that. So let's do that now. We'll just use a date format. We can call this install month. So now when we rerun this query, we should get the first of the month. And it'll be the first of the month for install dates ranging from September 2022 all the way through the current month, which is September 2024. So if we look at our output here, you can see that we have February 1st, 2024, July 1st, 2023, so on and so forth. So this is working. Now the only thing we need to do is alter this just a little bit and do a count distinct on this field right here, which is customer ID. And then this will be our DAU. So it'll be DAU by date, the date that they logged in, and their install month. We will do a group by because, again, it's an aggregate function. We're counting customer IDs. Let's add a semicolon. Okay. And this is our final query. It's actually not too bad in retrospect. So we're running this now. And once we get our output, we'll move it over to Excel and we will recreate that analysis. Okay. Fantastic. We are now ready to move this over to Excel. Okay, so here is our data. Now let me show you how to transpose this in a pivot table so that we can get that same chart. Let's put the install month across the top, but we want it to be the actual first of the month. And then login date, that's the DAU date, or the date that the customer logged in and interacted with your online business. And then we'll do a summation of DAU. Let's remove these grand totals. Let me move this chart to its own tab. Let me put the legend there on the bottom. Okay. Okay, great. So here is our final analysis, right? So this is DAU by day and by install month. And you can see it's multicolored because it represents different install months. So the really important or insightful thing that you can get out of this is if we take the current month, September 2024, you'll notice that over half of DAU had an install month of June, July, August, and then September, which is a partial month. So what you can glean out of that is, wow, okay, we have an online business where over half of the audience has installed over the last 3 months. So you can come to the conclusion that the life cycle of this business generally is about 3 months, which is super useful from a strategic standpoint. So again, I'm a huge fan of this type of analysis, and one additional thing that I'll show you that I really love is you can filter by install month and say, I want to look at installs or customers that we acquired or installed in June of this year, June 2024. And when you do this, you get this chart right there, which basically shows you the life cycle of the June 2024 install cohort. So for example, you see that there were almost about 400 June 2024 installs, and basically by the middle of September, 90% of them have already churned out. So this is extremely useful because it allows you to get an understanding of your audience size and how it changes based on the average life cycle of your installs. If you like this content, please continue to like and subscribe. Also, please share, and I'll make sure to put the MySQL and Excel practice or exercise files in a location or a link that you can access in the description. Thank you very much. Have a great day.